Welcome back to CC's Garage. Today we're going to work on the old F350 again. Seems like that's a lot of what I do. Today we're going to do a facelift on the front here. We'll get down here. As you can see, a little something needs to be done under that front bumper. Well, I've got this air dam off for a later model Ford truck. You know, little flat stock, little angle stock, some nuts and bolts, some leftover shelving dividers I've got. So we're going to take all this and get down here under the front of the truck and start putting this air dam on and see how that goes. So let me get a couple more things out here. We'll get to doing some measurements and get started on making this. Okay, gonna start out under here. Get me a piece to span across this area here to mount it to. So I'll measure here, and it's 34.5. I'm hoping with that angle piece that I showed you a second ago, I'll be able to make it and bolt it into these bolt holes on either end, and then I can center the air dam in the middle, and I'll come out to each side here and make the piece to hold it there, and those since it's angled, use those pieces of old shelf to make a filler to go up in it. So let me go cut the piece of metal at 34.5 and we'll get back from there. Now get ready to cut the angle bar off. It'd be really nice if I did have a bandsaw, which I do have a big one here, basically being used as a table right now, but the speed for it's set up to cut wood. Now I do have another power hacksaw right here that I've been working on redoing. The problem is there's supposed to be a drive shaft between here and here to run this. Well, it was cast. People before me had drilled a hole in it to put a grease fitting in, so when I went to try to change the bushing out in it to tighten it back up, that cast part broke. I've been working slowly. I'm milling this piece of bar here down on my little mill to make me another one, which I'm doing a video on it. It'll be at a later date. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to get this set up here in my vise. I'll measure it out, and then I'll just use a sawzall or a hacksaw one, probably the sawzall, to cut it, even though it won't be as straight of a cut as if I use the little Sawmaster power hacksaw. So I'll bring you back when I get it cut. Okay, I got the piece cut. I don't know if you can tell on camera there, it's a little crooked, but it's not really going to make that big of a difference here. So if we can get it to go up in here now. Hey, that worked out pretty good, I think. Okay, got a bolt hole lined up on that side. And one on that side. We'll grab the spoiler and we're going to see how it'll look trying to set it up under here. Okay. Okay, what it is, I'm gonna come along and I put a bolt in what appeared to be the center. Maybe I should have done this before I lowered the truck. Okay, evidently I didn't get long enough bolts, but this should work right where I'm going to put it. Okay, I've got the camera turned there, didn't I? I'll take this piece here and hopefully I can now let's see if I can get it to go back in the way I want it to go back in. Okay. Okay, I've got the one bolt pushed down through there. Then I'll do another one. I've turned it around to where the angle, this part goes more towards the front. It'll give me a little more room to get the air dam up on there. A little more adjustment, hopefully. And I got another bolt to stick through this side. And then once I do that, I got to grab me a couple of longer bolts to go up through here, and then I'll bring you back and see how it looks centered up. Okay, I've got it marked up on here, and it actually looks pretty good. I've got to do a little bit to it. When I come in and measure on the edge here, this side's, as you can see, is in a little bit. And you get over to this side and it's hitting. So I'm gonna have to get up under there, and I'll use this for example. The other one has round slotted holes this way and slotted holes this way. I'm gonna have to open up a couple of holes where I can shift the air dam over. So I'm gonna get off here and figure out. And one other thing, I wish I'd actually done this before I lowered the truck, because now that it's lowered, I don't got no belly, or not much of one, and it's still tight for me to try to slide in and out from under this front air dam. So, but I'll work on this a little more and I'll bring you back. Okay, I got the holes opened up on here, but I've put the bolts back in already. This one you might be able to tell a little bit where I opened it up. But while I was at it, I went ahead. This is where the bolt goes through to hold this to the frame. So I went ahead and opened up a hole underneath on each side. That way the bolt that goes through the frame will just send it through here and give me another mounting point. So from there I've got to come up with a way to go from here to here, since it's at an angle under the truck, to mount it. I'm also going, when I pull it back off, I'm going to cut these edges off on here and over here. Just make it a little easier to get it in and out between the frame with the radiator in place. And then we'll get to working on making the mounts to go across there, and how I'm going to get all this done and get it secured to the outer fenders. And then I'll come back and do some CAD, cardboard 80 design, and I'll make the filler piece. Okay, I cut either end off. Nothing precision, as you can tell. The angles look, I don't know if you look here, the angles are a little different, and you can get a look now at how I opened these holes up. That just gives me a little adjustment on either one. So let's get this slid in here and start bolting it back in. Okay, let's see how much easier this will go in now. I need it. Oh yeah, that was a lot better than it'd been being. Getting the holes lined up. Now for these two corners here at the frame, I went out and picked up 2 longer bolts. And there I go forgetting to put washers on them. Picked up 2 longer bolts. That way I had more room to go through where I wanted. Well, not where I wanted, but that way it gives me more for when I put the deflector on. It gives me more space since this frame's thicker than the rest. And I may even put washers between here and there, but I like how it pulls it up tight against the bumper when I just pull it up like that. So I'm going to get off here and get the air dam bolted back on, and we'll pick up from there. Okay, I've got it bolted in place here, as you can see. So now for the carburetor, I've got to get the white cut on here. Get a little brighter since I'm out in the sun. Okay, what I've got to do is I've got to come up with a way to mount it across there. But if you look at the gap here, well, I don't want the air hitting this and going up. I want it to go around the front. That's where some of the design comes in. What I'm going to try to do is pick up off of these bolts here, since there's really nowhere else to, and make a bracket to hold it, and then make a support bracket to go from here to across here, and then a fill plate to go in this open area on both sides. So I'm gonna get off here and figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this, and I'll bring it back and show you when I get it figured out. Well, I got the driver's side done up, getting ready to finish doing the passenger side. As you can tell, it's in there pretty stiff. I don't have it all the way bolted up. What I ended up doing is I had some leftover piece that I cut for something else. I wanted to bend in it, that way it makes this panel a little stronger. Come off the fender with this angle bracket. Then I used another piece of angle, bolted it up something like that. Went over so far and then come in with a smaller piece of angle and went over to the frame rail. And I cut the other one down through here, that way it slid up under the frame rail and bolted up to the bolt there. Now I do have a problem on the passenger side. That's the largest piece I have left, and the other one was about 9 inches long, so I'm going to have to come up with something different, try not to spend any more money than I already have. Let's slide up under here and I'll show you what this looks like. Okay, I got the light on. It definitely gets more fun to get under here once I've done it. Okay, there's what that panel that I put in looks like. Now I haven't tightened this up yet. I didn't even bother to trim that back, but if you come on this side, you can see a little bit of a gap there, but nothing bad. Once I tighten it up, it should take out that flex. Factory fender bolt here. Let's see, get this light turned up a little bit. Yeah, factory bolt here, holding this bracket on there. Had to dig through and find me a longer bolt. Double nutted here to space it out to where it sets like it should. Then we've got the, as you can see, this angle bracket coming across, catches a bolt. A hole here, and then one here. And then the other angle piece I was talking about that comes across to the frame here that goes to this one. When I tighten it up, all this should be tight. It's definitely firmed up this, because if I get any farther than I am right now under here, I have to bend this way to get back out. I also added another piece right here in the middle to give it a little more support. This this hole was already cracked when I got it. So we're gonna get out from under here. Well, just remember, anybody can do this kind of stuff with just a little bit of knowledge. And you don't have to spend a fortune. You don't always have to buy pre-made stuff. You can make it yourself. You don't always have to take it to a shop. Get up there and try. Worst thing is, you make a mistake, you lose a little money, and you try again. But then, you're learning something. Again, thank you for watching CC's Garage. I hope everyone's having a good new year, and we'll see you next time.